Hey guys, it's RobJ here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the dirty side of ant keeping, and I'm going to go through cleaning my ants. You might be able to pick up some tips or have better ways than I do. But you get to know your colonies, and all the fellow ant keepers out there will know. Sometimes you get ants that are very tidy and like put in a pile. Sometimes you get ants that mix their dead and food and put it everywhere. Literally everywhere in the outworld. You get ants that mix it with their trash and their food. They can be some of the more difficult ones to clean. And then you've got size of colony that comes into it. You've got ants that store them all in the same place, but separately, so you can actually target them. So we all have different types of colonies that put their waste in different places, in different ways. And we've always got to check that is cleaning absolutely necessary, because depending on the stage of your colony and your queen and everything else, we don't want to stress them unnecessarily. So we've got to think about the queen and the colony as well. But this is a must clean. So a lot of everything here has been left to build up a bit, so I've got something to show you in a video. One of my biggest tips and methods is distraction. I can't say it enough. Distraction is your best friend in situations like this. So I've gone in with some sweet juice, or some ant sugar, or ant nectar. And I've gone in and I put drips in the sort of cleaner places. What will happen once the message is formed is we will get less ants wandering across the centre, and they'll all be in points that we don't really want to concentrate on. So my secret weapon to all of this is a Dyson handheld Hoover, battery powered, and I have a 9mm tube hooked up to it, going into one of its heads. That means I have Dyson sucking power, but I can go into the nest with the tube. Now, because it's a bagless system and everything, you're definitely gonna hoover up some ants. But the thing is because there's no way they can get into any of the mechanicals, it's no different than an insect catcher, where they just gather in the cylinder. So we can actually rescue everybody that we suck up by accident. And it's really rather easy. So I just go round targeting the worst affected areas and just work my way around. And as you see, you do get some ants. With a colony like this, there's not going to be a lot of ways, because this is a lot of debris. Now yes, you can go in with a tweezer, but these ants will soon start climbing up and they'll be all over your hand. But I'm not saying this is the only way. This really just speeds up things, because I don't lose any ants, and I don't get any injuries or anything like that, but I get a clean outworld at the end of this. So this is just the way I like doing it. You can take ideas from this video or not. It's just to see how I manage a large colony with different things. So as you've seen, I've now replaced the sand. I've took out the old milk top lid and binned it, and just put in a new washed milk top. And every time I clean a colony, I always give them some sort of sweet treat or food straight afterwards. This helps distract them from what just happened, and they go in to thinking about food again. And once the food's gone, the memory of the cleaning process is long gone, and you'll find that you help them return to a natural, non-alerted state much easier by just feeding them afterwards. Another distraction, a post distraction. And as you can see, this is the final result of clean. Now I've left some carcasses in. You can go in now with some tweezers and do a manageable amount of removal if you want. But you've got to manage your own expectations. Ant keeping is not the cleanest thing, and you are keeping them in a very small area where in the wild a lot of different variables would clean up after the ants. You're forcing them to only use one thing. It's gonna be a lot of cleaning. Moving on to a tidier species of ant. They like a pile, but what they also do is they add moisture underneath, which means it goes into this very sticky substance, which is really rather awkward to get off. So how do I deal with this? Well, first of all, I will get anything off that isn't sugary and sticky, and then I'll move on. Now this is an ant keeper's best friend, cotton buds, or cotton wool pinched in your tweezers. Either will do, and a few drips of water on this, and you can go down to these otherwise unremovable pieces, and it'll just break apart. Switch the end, or put a dry piece of cotton wool in your tweezers, and you can just keep working at it until you've got a nice result. And just as ant keeping in general, you know, name of the game is patience. Yeah, there probably is faster methods. These are just methods I've picked up from long-term ant keeping, and I can't say I've always done it this way, but it is the most efficient way that I've come up with. I'm not saying that will be the same result for your setup in your situation with what you've got to hand, but as you see, I removed the sticky dirt and their stains and everything. And if you're good with your cotton buds or anything, I mean, you can get right up to them, and it's not like you've alerted anybody, the queen's not agitated, you know, they're not really bothered. And you can come out with some good results, as you see here. We've got a lot more respectable clean level here, if not near perfect. And that was just like 30 seconds of attention. And as always, a nice little sweet treat always follows it up, even if you haven't agitated them, like I was talking about before. Because we're in ant keeping to watch them, and one of the best things is, because of all what you've just been doing, you've made them very curious if you haven't alerted them. So they'll be like, what's just happened? And then they come across food. You can get some really nice behaviours not long after cleaning. So I normally just like to sit there and watch them for a while. I've always liked watching them go about their business, undistracted by what's going on outside their world. So, test tubes. Test tubes can be the easiest or the most awkward. It's really a very fine line between the two. But you've always got to decide, is it worth it to clean? Yes, this needs a clean, but is it necessary? Is it absolutely necessary? Or is it more detrimental to the colony to put them through it? You see, this queen has walked down, we've got eggs being moved around, and look, the cotton wool itself and the water supply is very fresh and clean. There's no danger to this colony. You going in and trying to clean it, there's no way you're not going to get escapes. Even the queen's going to try and escape. So actually, you're the danger here, not the dirt. So you just leave it. Now, on the other hand, this test tube has to go. And in cases like that, where the cotton wool, the water supply, and the test tube has had it, I find it's a lot easier to go straight in for a fresh refresh. Now, there's nothing stopping you cleaning that test tube now, but there was no cleaning it and using it. So, what about general dust? No matter how much you hoover and clean a room, you will get surface dust all over your ants and around your equipment. And just the same as any cleaning, really. I found the best way is to move your setup and to go in with a non-bleach, non-chemical antibacterial cleaner. And you've got to make sure that it's a non-bleach based one, mainly the ones designed for food preparation surfaces are the best way to go. And you can use the method I said before. One of the better methods in this situation is to go with a large cotton bud pinched in your tweezers, and you can wet that just like you can wet your cotton swabs. So I employ the distraction method again, and when the ants are sufficiently distracted, right now, you'll find that the previously once crawled all over water area is no longer well guarded, meaning you can replace your water, get on with the job, and remove the junk, leave any good seed or anything in there, and you can get some nice results. Putting everything back onto your shelf after you've had your clean, you get some pleasant overall results. So you got your before and your after. Now, I know it looks nicer for us, but the ants have to live there, and it's always a lot better to stay on top of your cleaning regime. Now, I know real life gets in the way, so there is some leeway to let some build up, but you've got to clean them quite regularly. And in some cases, yes, you can leave it. I let this pile up over a few weeks for this video, but if life took you away for that period of time, it's not the end of the world. You just got to do a better job of cleaning, and you'll have to put more time into it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if it's helped you in any way, then I'm happy, because basically my videos have always been to help more than to tell. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in my next one. Merry Christmas!